we go. All right, technology's up. Hey guys, that works. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, how you guys doing out there? Welcome to Level Up Coaching and Consulting. My name is Andrew Murphy. I am the owner and founder of the company Level Up Coaching and Consulting, and today I'd like to welcome you guys to another edition of what I like to call Express Coaching. Okay, every Thursday I put up a pre-recorded Express Coaching session, which is when we talk about a topic. I'll break down the topic. For example, today we're going to talk about attitude, and I just do like a quick 10-minute, 3 or 4 bullet point presentation about the topic. Like I say, attitude today, and then on Sunday we go a little bit more in depth in the topic, okay, or on the topic. On Sunday, I go live at 4 o'clock. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock, I go live, okay? So today, like I said, we're going to talk about attitude, all right? I had one young lady who gave me a comment under one of my bonus coaching sessions, and I believe it was last week. And she was talking about, how, one thing that, someone we could talk about is not, the whole status quo thing, not, non-conformity, not worrying about what other people think, being yourself instead of worrying about what someone else is going to say and do about you. And I thought about doing that. I thought about doing that talk, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I can actually incorporate that in this particular lecture as well. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So attitude, okay? There's 4 bullet points we're going to go through. Understanding current attitude, okay? Exploring desired attitude, okay? Exploring root causes, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about challenging limiting beliefs. Now, like I said, this is bonus. This is express coaching. So there's 12 bullet points here, but I'm only going to go through 4 of them, okay? The rest of them, you have to wait till Sunday, and we'll break down the other 8 on Sunday at 4 o'clock. So number 1 is understanding current attitude. So everything you want to do in your life, whatever you want to be, whatever your goals are, your plans, your aspirations, especially when it comes to self-growth or personal development. You want to be a better version of yourself. You want to reach that optimal you that's up here, right? Everything that has anything to do with that, it all starts with your attitude. If you have a goal in mind, right? You want to reach a certain amount of money by a certain time, or you want to have if you have a business and you want to have a certain amount of clients, or a certain type of clientele, or whatever. You have a relationship goal, a job goal, whatever it is, it all starts with your attitude, okay? What is the attitude that you have? And not necessarily the attitude that you have towards the goal itself, but the attitude you have towards you, and the attitude you have towards what you need to do to obtain that goal or to get to that point, right? The attitude that you have about the obstacles and challenges that may come up, that you may face trying to get to that goal. It's all about your attitude and how you see things. So let's take an example. Understanding current attitude. Let's, you guys know me, and I'm always going to use myself as an example. So let's use myself as an example. I have a business, and let's say that I'm frustrated, which has happened. I have been frustrated before, and it's not a strange thing, having your own business. But so I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I don't have a lot of clients, or I'm frustrated because the type of clientele that I want is not really the type of clientele that I'm getting at this point, or I'm frustrated because things aren't moving as smoothly and as fast as I would like for them to do, and whatever else, right? So I understand my underlying attitude, which is frustration, okay? I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. What's going on? That's where I am right now. Okay. Well, not right now, but that's where I am, like right then, right? Then we go to identifying the desired attitude. Obviously, the desired attitude is you want to be happy. You want to be calm. You want to be uh, uh, feeling like you have achieved and accomplished what it is you're trying to achieve and accomplish. You want to feel great and happy about, the amount of clients that are coming in, grateful for what you have, everything else like that. That's the desired attitude. That's where I want to go. Here's where I am. That's where I want to go. Okay. Well, how do we get there? Are you a glass half full or are you a glass half empty? Let's see what's going on with my technology. There we go. Are you a glass half full or are you a glass half empty? How do we get there from glass half empty to glass half full? Well, there's a number of things, okay? One of the things we're going to talk about is exploring the root causes, okay? And then we're also going to talk about challenging limiting beliefs. But explore the root cause. This will help you get from point A to point B, from negative to positive. Explore the root cause. So if someone asks you, what's going on with you? Oh, I'm frustrated. Why are you frustrated? Because my business is not working the way I want it to, right? That's what you say, and that's what you blame it on. But if you really, really, really dig deep and are honest 100% with yourself, no lying, don't BS yourself, but tell yourself the truth and really dig deep and do that real deep inner work with yourself, you will realize that the root cause is not anger and frustration. It's actually fear in many cases. There's a few other things that we can talk about. We'll talk about those on Sunday, but I'm just going to stick to this particular scenario right now so that you guys don't get lost on the train. So it's fear. It's not really that you're frustrated and mad. You are, but you're frustrated and mad because you're afraid. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of failure. You're afraid that it won't work the way you want it to work. Okay? You're afraid that it'll continue to go downhill the way it's going right now. You're afraid that you'll never get to that level that you want to get to because it's too hard, it's too high, it's too far, it's too big, it's whatever. So if you really discover the root cause is actually fear. You're actually afraid. You're scared to death, right? And you are afraid because what? You don't believe in yourself. You're afraid of failure because you don't believe in yourself that you can actually get there and actually make it. Okay, so there's that part. But like I said, we'll dig deeper into that on Sunday. But that's one of the root causes is fear. So think about that. How can we get rid of that fear? How can we get rid of the actual root cause is fear, which leads to frustration and anger, which leads to inaction, right? Which leads to more frustration and more anger and so on and so forth. And then we repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. How do we get out of that situation? How do we stop that from happening? There's a few things, but one of the things we can look at is challenging limiting beliefs. Challenging limiting beliefs. Now, when I say challenging limiting beliefs, I'm not talking about the limiting beliefs that people have about you. Forget about them. We're not talking about your coworkers and your so-called friends and social media and, the people down there at that church or whatever. That's not what we're talking about because they're going to say what they're going to say anyway. And there's nothing really you can do about that. They're going to say it, and that's just going to be it. We talked about the whole status quo thing. Don't worry about what other people are thinking, and don't try to conform to fit the mold that everybody wants you to fit in. You'll never fit in there. It's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be an individual, okay? So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the limiting beliefs that you have within yourself. The beliefs that you have, like I said earlier, the fact that you don't believe that you can actually make it, the fact that you don't believe that you will succeed, that this too will pass. Okay? How do we challenge that belief? What do we do? You say challenging limiting beliefs. So what do I do? How do I do that? You talk to yourself like this. This is what I do. So write down 5 things. You have a goal, right? You have an aspiration, an objective, something you're trying to get done, with relationships or jobs or whatever, right? Write down the 5 things that you think are limiting you or challenges that keep you from getting to where you want to go, that make you have this attitude of frustration and despair and fear and everything else like that. What 5 things make you feel that way? When you write it down, right, then you read it out loud to yourself on a piece of paper. You pick up a piece of paper and you read it and you write it down and then you read it out loud. I am afraid of whatever. You'll realize how ridiculous it sounds. And you'll realize that it's not really that realistic, because you have what they call catastrophe thinking, right? Your worst case scenario thinking. Once things start going into a downward spiral, like I say, rinse and repeat, keep going down, you get worse and worse in your thought process, and the more and more, the worst case scenario thing that can happen, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. If you read it out loud, you'll go, you know what, that's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. Most of the things we're afraid of that are going to happen are actually not going to happen. Why? Because fear is what? False evidence appearing real. FEAR. False evidence appearing real. It's false. It's not real. We make it real in our mind, but in actuality, it's not real. It's just our mind getting caught up in the whole emotion of, oh, it's going bad and this is going to happen and this is going to happen and I'm going to get this and that. No. How do we get from point A, glass half empty, to point B, glass half full, with our attitude? You have to be real with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. Don't BS yourself. Okay? Look at what's really going on for what it really is. For what it really is. Not what you think it is. Not what you want it to be because it makes you feel better to think that way. Not blaming someone else because of it or blaming another situation. No, look at it for what it is. Okay? DIW. Deep inner work. Start with that. Look at what it is, see what it is for what it is, and then, like I say, write them down and repeat them to yourself, read them out loud, and then you realize how ridiculous it is. And then you can go from there. You can say, okay, this is ridiculous. Instead of me writing down or believing these negative things, let me write the 5 opposites of this. Even if you know it already, write it down. Physically, I know it sounds ridiculous, it sounds corny, it sounds childish or immature or whatever, but write it down. Write down the opposite of the negative thing and read that out loud and watch how much power it gives you. Okay? That will change your attitude because you will start to believe in yourself and you will start to know that, hey, you know what? My self-worth, my self-esteem, my value in what it is I'm trying to do, my personal growth, whatever, is actually worth it, and I deserve it. And it is right here in my hands. All I got to do is reach out and grab it. I don't have to be afraid of this and this and this and this. That's not true. These are the things that are actually happening, right? So we're going to get more into this on Sunday, but I just wanted to drop a couple of jewels out there for you guys. So let's see how long we did this. It was 12, 13 minutes. So I just wanted to drop a couple of jewels out there for you guys. Thank you for your time. I know somebody got something out of this, and that's great. And if you did, or for those of you that did get something out of it, write a comment. Put it down in the bottom in the comments, and write it down in a comment and let me know what it is you got after this situation, all right? I will see you on Sunday. We will continue this conversation on attitude, and we have a few more bullet points, about 8 or so more bullet points that we're going to talk about. I can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. This is going to be good. You do not want to miss it. Bonus coaching on Sunday, 4 o'clock. See you there.